TREK started in 1976, Waterloo, Wisconsin. Two entrepreneurs, Dick Burke and another person who ran a bike shop, got together and decided they wanted to build bikes. We have around 400 plus employees at this location, I believe. 24 offices worldwide in 17 countries. Object was one of the processes we looked at, but not really too deeply. We were pretty much set to buy an SLA machine. One of our industrial designers, Chris, had seen an Objet machine out in Boston while visiting SolidWorks. Sometimes it's a big fight getting something, especially a big purchase like a machine like the Objet Connex 500. I think about halfway through the meeting he looked at what it could do and how it would help TREK, and he said, just buy it. That was definitely the thing that put us over the fence, was a multi-material digital process that allows us to do multiple materials in a single build. Well, it was the digital thing, that was it. I mean, pretty much the SLA machine made great parts, that's what we were used to making. That would have made our customers happy because they didn't know any better. But with bringing digital in, it gave our engineers, designers a whole nother world to work with as far as prototyping parts. One of my concerns about buying an SLA machine was when I went to visit one of my vendors. He was really good about this. He says, well, here, I run this down here. He basically runs the machine. He says, well, come on upstairs and see the other part of the story. And upstairs he had 4 people up there doing all the post-processing work on those SLA parts. That was a hidden part that nobody told me about until I actually visited the vendor. So that convinced me at that point in time. It didn't convince me not to buy an SLA machine, but it certainly made me more aware of the hidden cost with that process. Whereas with the Objet, obviously there's still some post-processing involved, but it's relatively simple. You know, one person can operate it, and it's not, I don't believe it's anywhere near as time-consuming as post-processing with an SLA operation. A CNC part, our backlog for CNC parts right now are 28 days. So you can imagine designers have a choice, okay, we do an Objet part 1 day, CNC part 4 weeks. Beforehand, they were doing those iterations on CNC parts, very timely, very expensive, with long lead times, and if it didn't work, you need to make another CNC part. So it's really helped our CNC queue a lot. It's made that shorter, and it's also allowed engineers to produce multiple iterations way beyond what they could have done if we just relied on CNC parts. This is just a great example of something starting out as an Objet part, going to a CNC part, being fabricated, and going on to either a World Cup or a championship level TREK bicycle. All made with an Objet part from the start.
Here we got a rocker link made out of the new ABS material. One cool feature about the ABS is I can press in the bearings without worrying about it breaking on me. It's an important part of the bike. It's the main pivot. It's the link where that holds the main frame and the rear triangle together. Another thing we think about this is this new ABS material. You can actually take these bar ends, go across the street and ride them. You know, and come back within a couple hours and get feedback from the riders. So Bruce, the first part out of the Connex was amazing. I mean, we had a whole crowd around the machine. You know, it was first build, just watching it go back and forth, growing something, you know, from liquid. And then after it was out of the machine, just cleaning it, having a real part in your hands and just seeing how tight the tolerance. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing how a part off the Objet could have tight a tolerance as a CNC machine.